The controversial life of President John Tyler. President John Tyler was dubbed as the Accidency by his detractors because his presidency was an accident when President Harrison died. At the end of this video, you will discover that he had 2 wives and married her second wife while he was a president. But how come did it happen? John Tyler became the 10th president of America after President Harrison died from pneumonia in April of 1864. In his succession, there was confusion if he will be getting the same salary and power granted to a president. He moved to the White House and was sworn in on the 6th of April, 1864. Tyler kept all Harrison's cabinet members in their place. However, one of them resigned after John Tyler refused the bill to create a new national bank. The Whigs struck back by forcing Tyler to leave their party. In retaliation, the Whigs expelled Tyler from their party. Everyone from the cabinet resigned except for Secretary of State Webster. A year later, Tyler rejected another bill, the Tariff Bill. It resulted in the first impeachment attempt against President Tyler. The committee, headed by Representative John Quincy Adams, said that Tyler misused his veto power. However, that resolution failed. President Tyler and the Whig Congress have a very significant difference, but both executed much positive legislation. One example was the Log Cabin Bill that allowed settlers to claim 160 acres of land before a public sale took place. It was sold for $1.25 an acre after. The Webster-Ashburton Treaty placed a period in the Canadian boundary, Maine and Canada border dispute between the U.S. and British North American colonies. The U.S. made good connections with China after signing the Treaty of Wanghia in 1864, which gives America access to Asian ports. Before Tyler left the office, he signed a bill that made Texas officially join the Union as the 29th state in December of 1845. Finally, on the last day of his presidency, he signed the bill that makes Florida the 27th state to join the Union. Tyler re-entered the presidential election in 1844 under his own party, a core of loyal appointees. He's got little support, and in August 1844, he withdrew his candidacy in favor of the Democratic nominee, James Polk. Tyler moved to Sherwood Forest, a 1,200-acre plantation to the James River, after he left the White House. Here he raised his family and his second wife. Did you know that President Tyler was the only president that had 2 wives? Yes, he was 54 years old when his first wife, Letitia Christian, died in 1842, and after 2 years he married his second wife, Julia Gardiner. At the same time when Tyler was still the president, her wife, who was 21 years old, was the youngest First Lady in American history. President Tyler had 15 children in total, including one child he had when he was 70 years old. America was on the verge of the Civil War in 1861. Tyler chaired a peace talk in Washington, D.C. to preserve the Union. However, it failed to meet the objective, and in that year, war broke out. He voted in favor of Virginia breaking away from the United States. He died at the age of 71 on January 8, 1862, just before he could take a seat when he was elected to the Confederate House of Representatives. However, President Lincoln and the government did not acknowledge his death publicly because he was treated as a traitor to the Union. You have just discovered the controversial life of President John Tyler. Watch the next video and learn about America's president and his interesting life story.